Hey guys, we're back from our trip to Lowe's. Uh, Man, sorry, I'm awkward on camera. So we ended up picking up the two of the three Calathea Dotties. We could have got all three, but I was worried that the other one was just gonna kind of distract from the rest of the color we got going on. It was so gray. Maybe we'll mix it in later. We'll find out how this looks. But Calatheas are well known for being some of the more difficult plants to keep. They're sensitive. They close, they open. They're called prayer plants. If they get too much light, they'll close up. Or wait, no, they close up at night. And if they're also in far too much light, they will just crisp up, roll up, and die. They like to stay pretty consistently moist, but this doesn't mean wet. So you either want something like the cocoa peat that's often delivered in to evenly distribute said moisture, but you don't want it sitting in anything too long because they will rot. This one is not in a self-watering pot, but I think this one is. And we're getting ready to crack them open, break them down, and see how many we can make. Because I like a lot of little plants instead of one or two big plants. What can I say? So we're going to switch over to the POV now. If you guys are checking in, I might not notice the comments. We'll see. Still getting the hang of all this. So, have fun. Ooh, this one's pretty wet. So these spread through rhizomes, much like begonias, or even some, I don't want to say alocasias, but if you plant an alocasia rhizome sideways, you'll get many little plants. So tubers versus rhizomes, I think you know what I mean. Man, it's just so wet. Healthy roots, maybe it wasn't a self-watering or there was a reservoir down there. You know what? This is really, honestly, how I garden. I'm not trying to do this cute for you guys. I swear I can wring this soil out and it's a sponge right now. So we're going to break it up, we're going to put it in some chunky mix, but we're probably not going to water it right away. I know you guys are like, oh, what, they have sensitive roots, they're going to die. I propagated a couple 2 weeks ago. They were not healthy when I propagated them, and they are still pushing out new growth. And I think I learned the trick. So once I get all this done and put together, we'll go look at those. Alright, we're back. It was taking a little bit longer than I thought. I always feel awkward when there's a long silence on camera. I don't personally mind the silence. I do a lot of my gardening and plant hunting alone. It gives me a good time for contemplation. But that's where I get all the ideas to just sit and rant. Oh, maybe you guys should see this. I am brutalizing these roots. Maybe I just want an excuse to use the glasses as much as possible. But like my mom always said, if I paid for it, I'm going to use it. So when it comes to something like plants, I'm gonna use it. Now, I don't think I'm gonna break those off. I think I'll leave the babes. We're gonna take the flowers out. We're not trying to do any of that. So we got one. What do you think? Should we be greedy, guys? No, I think these are good enough size. Leave that. You know what? I think we will. Just kind of as an example. Now, this one is bone dry. This cocoa peat will soak up moisture really fast. It'll hold on to it for a little bit and then it'll dry out really fast. And I think that's the number one problem with these. You don't look at it for a day and it's gonna dry up, curl up, and die. Or you give it too much water and then it dies. You know how plants can be. Sorry, little baby. There we go. You know, nature's pretty brutal. All sorts of animals coming in, chewing the tuber up, you know, carrying some of it over here, carrying some of it over there. Let's untangle them first. Alright, might have been some damage there, but it'll be okay. Okay, so we broke them up. Now let's pick some pots. Couple little ones. Couple broken ones. Maybe the ones that came in, you know. Alright. Little roots gets little pot. I think that common sense gets overlooked a lot. I used to be very guilty of that myself. And then they say, oh, it's going to spend all this time trying to fill out the pot, but no, the water's going to make mold and bacteria before the roots even have a chance to get there. So, small roots, small pot. Don't worry, these will all be getting some water real quick. Small roots, small pot. Now, I don't know about some of these on the dry plant, because roots can do what's called dry rotting. And you'll repot this, and they'll look okay, and then as soon as you put water on them, boom, they just mush. Because they got too dry. But we'll see. We'll hope. And by the time these fill in and make little tubers of their own, we'll have a really nice little Calathea collection. Need some rattlesnakes and can't remember the white one. White Fusion? I think they just released. That's mold. That's what happens with the organic material like that. That's all I do. Use some vibration, get the little chunks to settle into each other. Leaves a little bit of pocket for oxygen. And then boom. Little roots, little pot. Another thing you may notice is when I do the vibration, it all settles out. You don't want your entire rhizome to be submerged under the soil. So somewhere around here, you gotta make sure at least below here. Just a little more to ferment the pot. No friends? I got no friends. My plants are my friends. My wife is my friends. She really enjoys me doing this, because when I talk about plants, I get all giddy like a kid with his toy, like Chris Farley and Tommy Boy, I think it was. Ian like Planty. Yeah, my name's Ian. I say we a lot. I'm hoping this will eventually be a family situation. Just me and my channel. We can do some pretty cool things. And we can have fun, even if it's all by ourselves. But we've met a lot of friends along the way. We're gonna go meet them soon. Not tonight, but I have a good friend. I mentioned the corm holders. I'm trying to pick up some rare corms after I get my area situated. Start plugging the unicorns in left and right. We got a couple cool unicorns so far. And really just the ability to keep Calathea might try and water root you. You're not mush. This is literally how I do it. Everybody says you can't reuse soil. It's got bad stuff in it. Bah humbug. This one's gonna get a big pot. I say humbug. It's all natural. You know, unless you had like a bug infestation or some sort of fungus that came out of nowhere, then you might want to sterilize absolutely everything. But ultimately, especially if you're an outdoor gardener like myself, I don't know if you could call a patio an outdoor garden. More pots. More sacrifices. Interesting looking flower. Yeah, no, Calatheas are so notoriously difficult. I never even considered that they flowered at all, or what the flower might look like. It's very unlikely that these will come to seed, but if they do, that'll be cool. And once you see, I mean, you start to see the vision come together, right? Look, looks awesome. I need more big pots, I'll tell you what. That's what I'm looking for, guys. Alright. Too small. There's another cool looking Calathea. It was one of these dark ones, but it had one big leaf that shot out all green. And made me wonder, you know, is that what these started out as? Or is that some sort of mutation it's doing by itself? Here we go. Oh, perfect. Shoo, might even need a bigger still. These were sold as 1 gallon, but I don't think that's a gallon. That's a half gallon. Getting low on potting mix. Gonna need more soon. I made a post not too long ago about a couple different things I put in my mixes. The orchid bark seems to be drying out far too fast here in Florida. So I aim to start using more of that cocoa chips, cocoa bark. Help retain a little bit more moisture. So we are at the bottom of the barrel. This isn't the chunkiest of chunky mixes, but it is very quickly draining. And down here, it's pretty hot, so everything that doesn't get used up evaporates pretty quick. So make sure there's no actual root chunks left. You're going to decay. Hey, who's that? It doesn't say. Sorry, we're doing Calatheas right now. Gonna turn this into a YouTube video, but I wanted to get it done before the tour. So I'm actually getting ready to end this video, new viewer, but I will be back shortly with the actual plant tour, and then we'll probably just do a little hanging out and maybe answering some questions. Here, let me show you my sweaty face. Well, wherever they are, I think they left.